maps never exist kind of independently. And if you can find a narrative to go along with the map, or you can place the map into a historical context, that's very important. One of the ways to get a historical context for any map is to find out other maps that are similar. Other maps produced at the same time and place, or of the same subject, by the same cartographer, from the same school, from maybe the same purpose. Another very important aspect of maps is to find other graphic representations that might not technically be maps, but that are similar to it. For example, if you have a city map, a city view, that is an artistic representation, not from the top down to the earth, but tilting it to the side and looking at it as a bird's eye view, or dropping all the way down and looking at it as a profile of the city, the skyline of the city, for example. See, they're all part of a continuum. Where the map begins and where a bird's eye view begins and where a profile ends just depends on your definition, really. And certainly to understand a map of downtown Chicago, it would be nice to have a skyline view. It would be nice to have a map looking from the top down. It would also be nice to have a bird's eye view. And then if you can do it time-wise, if you could have one from today, one from yesterday, one from 1990, 1980, and just go back all the way to the beginning, then you're starting to look at things with a historian's eyes to see one document as part of this of this sequence. Art history has a lot of things to say to a person looking at a map, because a map is an artistic rendering, and it becomes more convincing with certain flourishes. Certainly the fact that the water is painted blue on a map all of a sudden tells us something about the map. And if one changes that for dramatic effect sometimes, that kind of manipulation of color and of form and texture and so on, one moves kind of away from historian's training over to the training of an art historian. I think also linguistics is a good place because of place names. Almost every map betrays itself in terms of its origin by what places it names. The more we can bring to an understanding of these place names, the more, I think, rich the historical context of the map actually becomes. Certainly, if you're going to look at medieval maps, you have to know something about classical mythology, you have to know biblical history, you have to know something about the Teutonic mythology. Once you have those three things in mind, all of a sudden the map becomes a really lively thing.